In this video, I want to talk about privilege. Something that I've been thinking about a lot anyway, but especially during this time. In case anyone doesn't know, privilege is basically like a person or a group of people having a certain advantage over others because of a certain factor that they usually can't control. So this can be like your race, your gender, the amount of money that you've been born into, the area you were born into, the country you were born in, the platform you have. And just to be clear, because I feel like this is a common misconception, it doesn't mean you have an easy life. It means your life is not made harder because of your race or because of your class. That factor isn't going to be a thing that holds you back from anything. So let's talk about mine. I have a lot, I'm not even gonna lie, I have a lot of privileges in a lot of ways. I'm white, I was born in the UK, I was born into a pretty financially stable family. I had food on the table every night. I just want to make sure people know that I'm very aware of that, and I'm very aware that your amount of privilege plays a big part in what you can do and achieve in life. On this channel, I want to be as honest about myself as I can. What I mean is, like, I'm gonna be as open as possible. Like, I'm not perfect. Every day I notice bad mentalities I have, or like things I shouldn't be thinking, things that need to change. Like most people, I'm trying to unlearn a lot of things. I think when you're trying to like make a change in some way, trying to like spread the word about something, it's very important to be like open and honest. Number one, I guess you're more relatable, but number two, that's kind of a very key part of change, like looking inside yourself and thinking, what can I change in here? Change is only sustainable if your mentalities change, and I'll go further into that another time. But being open and honest with yourself and other people, being willing to admit what you do wrong and your mistakes and your bad mentalities is so important to actually change actually happening. This whole movement that I'm, I guess, part of, climate justice, the climate crisis, I just want to acknowledge and make sure you know that I know that it's not the most diverse thing in the world. On the whole, from my experience and a lot of people's experience, it's quite dominated by white middle class people. And I mean, I have some ideas as to why that is, but on the whole, I'm not really sure why that is. And it is a shame, because when you're trying to see change and help change happen, diversity is so important, especially with an issue that's so global. It will only happen if people from a range of different walks of life and with different experiences are involved, because it's such a global issue, and also because on the whole, marginalised communities are going to be affected the most by this crisis. In organisations like Extinction Rebellion and the strikes and stuff, they're pretty dominated by like a certain demographic. And I also understand that can put a lot of people off, because I think it's human nature to be more comfortable doing something when you see people like you there. So I mean, a lot of these organisations are trying to figure out ways to get rid of that. It is a massive setback only representing one community or like a small range of communities. So yeah, I'm very aware of that, and I'm very aware of my own privileges and stuff. I can only do what I can do with what I am, if that makes any sense. Like, I would love to get through to other types of people, but like I said, I also understand that you're probably much more willing to listen to someone who is like you. These privileges that I have, being born in the UK, being able to just start a YouTube channel because I feel like it, like having a platform of people that maybe don't know much about this whole thing. I want to do what I can with that. I would say one thing is always good to do, not just for this movement, just for in life. It's always good to try and begin to understand the experiences of different types of people and meet a range of people. Right now, meeting people obviously isn't the most practical thing, but one really easy way that I've just started really focusing on and seeing the importance of is like diversifying your Instagram, like diversifying who you follow, following lots of different types of people. Like, broadening your perspective of life is never going to be a bad thing, ever. And another good thing about the UK is that we're so multicultural already, so we have so much ability to understand people's experiences. So yeah, I've been much more aware of like the importance of privilege and my own privilege during this COVID crisis. I'm very aware how lucky I am because of the fact that I'm just able to feel like normal and virtually unaffected. I really do recognise that there are so many people struggling right now for so many reasons, and I mean, it makes me very slightly hesitant to make videos about issues about the climate, because I know that there's other things going on, and I'm never trying to like undermine the fact that people are struggling with their own things now. I just kind of want to make sure people don't forget. So one video I really want to do soon is like talking about things that we can learn from this crisis. And again, I mean, a part of me is reluctant to do that video because I know that some of us are a bit preoccupied, like me in my privileged position, telling other people what to get from this crisis. Like, I know that we're all experiencing it differently. I do think there are some very important lessons in it. But one thing just linked to that is like, for those of us that are kind of just, that life slowed down a bit and we're able to just like look at things from another perspective, I just think it's really good to take a step back and look at what you have in life and just be grateful and like notice the things that we have access to, things that we're able to do, whether it's watch Netflix, whether it's baking, whether it's sorting through your clothes. In this time when so many people are going through it, I just think it's just such a privilege to be able to use the time how you want, for those of us that can. Yeah, having more gratitude than normal has really helped me pay more attention to how I'm privileged. So the two are very linked together. One particular privilege I want to talk about is financial privilege. So like I mentioned, I was born in the UK, and I assume most people watching this are born in the UK. And I'm lucky enough to have a financially stable family and be financially stable myself. So this part of the video is directed at people who are in the same position. I mentioned in my first video, my long ass video, about consumer power, but I want to look at it from the angle of being financially stable enough to choose which companies you give your money to is such a privilege. For example, like for my food shop, I could choose a cheap option, Tesco, Aldi, Lidl, whatever, or I could choose a more expensive option if I thought it was more ethical. I can buy certain eco-friendly products that might be a bit more expensive, or I have the power to donate to charity. You have power over who's earning money off you, if that makes any sense. These things I'm going to mention are things I believe in anyway, but especially during this crisis, I think those who have this privilege should really, really be thinking about supporting independent businesses. First of all, often independent businesses are more ethical and responsible, but secondly, some people may disagree, but I'd rather give my money to a business owner of a small business who is actually relying on this business to live than a business owned by like a billionaire. It's almost like your money has more value when you give it to a smaller business. If you're financially privileged, I think we all should be doing our best to find out what businesses are more ethical than others, giving our money to the right places. I just think for those of us who have the privilege to choose where our money goes, we should really be conscious about it. Many people don't have a choice but to shop at Primark or whatever. I think those of us who do really need to put like actual thought into where we're buying from. I think it's kind of a duty in a way. That being said, like, number one, not many companies are going to be 100% ethical, and obviously you can't always make the best decision. It's just about being conscious. Just put a bit of thought into it. I came across something once on Instagram. If I see it, I might add it in, but it's like, vote with your pounds or dollars or whatever. What you put money into is funding that thing. You're paying for that product and the whole process that goes into making it. You're essentially voting for it to carry on and keep doing exactly what it's doing the same way. As always, let me know what you thought about this video, my other videos. Please share, spread the word. Let me know if you disagree with any of it, if you agree with any of it, if any of it's helped you, if you want to have like a discussion about anything. The only rule I really have is be nice. Okay, I'm gonna say goodbye. That's kind of all I think. Like, I'm reluctant to end this video because I'm used to them being longer than this, so I feel like it's not finished. What's the thumbnail gonna be? Because it was just when I see you, when I see you. So let's talk about mine.